Hi everybody, this is Janet Wright, and this is an energy healing recap video where I tell you what I did in yesterday's group energy healing, why I used those techniques, and I direct you towards some awesome walkthrough videos that you can use on yourself to use the techniques that I've used, either just one of the techniques or every single one of the techniques that were in yesterday's group healing. So yesterday's date was Sunday, March 18th, 2018. So it was the second in the triplet set of energy healings. And the healing was 21 minutes long. And of course, it was for 75 people who are currently located in 9 countries, including 9 kids. Hi, kids. And hello to all the people learning from this video. Woohoo! Yay! This healing had a really very new theme. So listen up, folks. First I will talk about this healing, and then I'll back up and talk a little bit about the theme for the set. So the theme for this Sunday healing that I did yesterday was so new, and it's there's sort of a more poetic name for it and then a more literal name for it, and you may have a preference, one or the other. So the poetic name for it is Unblocking the Mind Harp. Unblocking the Mind Harp, or your Mind Harp. Okay, so harp, hopefully I'll splice in a photo of what a harp is. For those of you, maybe if English isn't your first language, that word might not register for you, or some of the kids might not know what a harp is. So a harp is a really cool stringed instrument that makes very beautiful music. The Mind Harp is, and the literal non-poetic name for it is called Telepathic Mesh. And Telepathic Mesh, M-E-S-H. And a mesh is a fabric. It's like a mesh is, you know, like it's kind of like fabric, but it's but in this case it's gold and metallics. Basically, telepathic mesh is something in your 5th layer of your aura. 5th chakra has to do with communications. So communications, including inner thoughts and your state of mind. So how positively you talk to yourself, how constructive and focused your own thoughts are. But 5th chakra is also communication with other people, hearing your angels. So basically communication, but in all ways, inner and outer communication. And so since that's the 5th chakra, then that also means the 5th layer of the aura, number 5, right? 5th layer of the aura, which is, you know, probably right around here for me. And so, you know, for you, it'll be similar. So I measured it yesterday before I emailed clients, and it was like 13 inches from my throat. And in centimeters, that was, I think it was 30 or 33 centimeters. So, you know, just FYI. But anyway, so telepathic mesh is, it's gold, and it's just this, it's like a fabric, but made of metal, and it has these little gold, and it has all these little teeny holes in it, you know, almost like a window screen is a mesh. You know, like in a window, you'll have a screen to keep the bugs out, you know? So telepathic mesh is like a gold little screen, you know, where energy can flow through it, and it vibrates, it resonates. Telepathy is nonverbal communication. So communicating with, really with people, with angels, you know, whatever. So anyway, telepathic mesh is something I didn't even know existed until, you know, maybe about a week ago. The angels started showing me it. And basically it's there even if you didn't know you had it. And it's very delicate and light. And so that could be why, even if you have been working your energy for a while, you've never exactly realized that it was there. And also it tends to get blocked up with a lot of people's energy blocks there. So it gets all covered up. So it's not like you see this big gleaming gold screen there unless you clear all the energy blocks away from it. And then you notice like, oh, wow, you know, it's there. So that could also be why, even if you know your fifth layer very well of your aura, you never really saw it there before. But anyway, so telepathic mesh, or the Mind Harp, it has a couple purposes. I mean, it helps you with telepathy, which is, you know, if you send an outward communication with your mind. And you could do that just to one person in particular, or like an easy example. Okay, if my husband does really all the cooking of dinner in our house, God bless him, and some nights he just is not feeling it, and he will think, oh, well, why don't we go get Chipotle? You know, Chipotle is like a fast casual kind of place to buy food, you know? And so, but he'll telepath it to me. He won't say it. And you know, we're psychic, so, you know, we do a lot of that in this house. And so I'll just start getting these messages about Chipotle out of nowhere, you know? And then I'll say to him, oh, you want to go get Chipotle? And he'll be like, oh yeah, that's good. So anyway, your mind just sends messages like that. And that's clean, you know, it's not like you're courting somebody, it's just that your mind says something, you know, and sort of sends it out to a person. So that's what telepathy is. But anyway, so that telepathic screen, if it's nice and clear, I think it just sort of clarifies and enhances your telepathy. And telepathy also can be for a group of people. Like, for example, one of my clients, she might, you know, be needing to hire a manager and a new employee where she works, she runs a business. And that, you know, could be a good need for group telepathy. You know, she wants to send out sort of a spiritual message that she's going to be looking for qualified employees, you know, qualified applicants. You know, and so that's an example of group telepathy, you know, where you just kind of send it out on a spirit level, like, okay, I'm looking for this type of person to fill this type of job. Obviously, you want to also, you know, put literal ads and, you know, maybe on some kind of an electronic thing so people can see it consciously too. But, you know, a lot of times spirit messages are very useful. But unfortunately, many people are not so clean about their spiritual messages, and they hand a lot of heavy energy as they say something with their mind. So an example, recently, my vet, you know, she's concerned about one of our dogs who, you know, does need a medicine it has harmful side effects, but she really needs the medicine. But my vet is kind of tripping out about that, like, oh, but you know, these side effects, you know, and so she's been handing me a lot of real heavy energy with that mental communication. And so that's actually how I realized, you know, that, well, that's how the angels helped me notice a telepathic mesh here, because all the vet's messages were like glommed onto my telepathic mesh. Like, she just kept sending me, oh no, but these side effects are terrible, the side effects are terrible, you know? And so finally, when I cleaned off my telepathic mesh, I was able to get her out of my space and realize, like, yeah, I need more of that medicine. She's about to run out, and, you know, she really needs the medicine, even despite the side effects. So anyway, so telepathy, the telepathic mesh enhances your communication to other people. And if you keep it nice and clear and whole and undamaged and not burdened by freak out messages from your vet or whatever, then you're able to switch gears more easily within your own fifth layer and fifth chakra and mind, and think about what you need to think about. You're able to focus. So for example, you know, all that, you know, drama on my telepathic mesh from my vet was actually giving me a mental block so that I was not reordering the medication, and she was about to run out of it, you know, which is completely irrational. Like, I should have done it already. But I just had too much drama, you know, glommed onto my telepathic mesh from the vet about that medication. So it was, you know, giving me a mental block, you know? So that's how it works. So if you clean your mesh off, and I will walk you through how to do that in the walkthrough video that I'm going to make in addition to this one, and I'll link it at the end. If you clean off your telepathic mesh, then your mind becomes your own again. You can do what you got to do in your life, which is really good, you know? Really, really nice. And, you know, I mean, obviously my vet meant well, you know, God bless her. You know, she's a good person, but that it makes it an even better example, because you can get blocked up by messages from people that are totally kind people, you know, but you can also get blocked up from people who are malevolent, or people that you've had, you know, pretty bad arguments with. You could still have their energy on your telepathic mesh or your mind harp right here. And so those energy blocks from those old arguments could make you more negative in your communications with yourself, even with your own thoughts. Like one of my participants in this healing, she actually really benefited from the Sunday healing of cleaning off her mind harp or her telepathic mesh, and her thoughts about her own life and, you know, taking care of herself became much more positive and less sort of dark and dreary as they had been. So for those of you who maybe were raised by someone who's very verbally negative, I would really recommend this technique. For people who maybe, you know, they get into way too many arguments, or, you know, I would say for any reason, because like I said, my vet's a total sweetheart, you know, it's just she's flipping out about this medicine. So it's really easy to get energy blocks on your mind harp or your telepathic mesh. Okay, great. So that was the gist, I mean, the main gist of the Sunday healing. We also did some really good unblocking things and clearing. So, and those are actually awesomely already existing videos. So I don't need to make those videos. I've actually already put those videos in the playlist. And so I'll make sure that this video comes ahead of them. And then the telepathic mesh, you know, how to clean it off video comes right after this one. And then the other two for, you know, the other techniques that were in the healing that, you know, are older videos, I'll put them after it. So the first one that we did in the healing that already exists as a video was a major part of the healing. It was maybe the first 10 minutes of the healing. It's a 26-minute video if you want to do it. And it's called Earth Energy Soak DGS Bottle Brush Technique. And I made it, you know, I don't know, 2-4 weeks ago, something like that, but it is good. Good job, Janet. Because it uses like gold bottle brushes for like all 7 chakras all at once, and it's like you get cleared out. I do that technique a lot in the mornings now. So anyway, I'm gonna put that in this set's playlist, and let me know. You know, I'm okay with like, say, okay, it annoys 3 people, but like 30 people love this new way. You know, like don't hold back. Well, be nice, but you know, you can say, oh, I'd rather you didn't do that, or I really like that you do that now. And what I mean by that is, if there's a part of this healing, but it's an old video, the walkthrough of it, I'm now gonna put it in the playlist for the set, because I know people like replicating the healing as exactly as they can. Even the people that paid for it and got it, they just like redoing it, which, you know, is kind of smart. You really maximize your benefits. But then there are, of course, people who don't do every triplet set, who want to replicate the healing on their own, you know. So anyway, as I said, that video will be in the playlist for this triplet set. And this triplet set, the theme is mindful action, taking action, productivity, time management. Time management is probably the first word in the playlist for this set. But anyway, so that's a 26-minute video, Earth Energy Soak DGS Bottle Brush Technique. And like I said, that was the first half of the healing, because I really needed to clean people out really well. And with the DGS Divine Gold Sandstorm, all those little bits of spinning gold light, you know, particularly in the grounding and the lower part of the aura, you get a great flow and presence. So it's really thorough, that video, and I did it identically, pretty much, in the healing. So it's a good walkthrough. But then we did the unblock and repair the telepathic mesh, to help you with mindful action. Because, you know, just like me ordering the medicine that my dog needs, I was not doing it until I cleaned out my telepathic mesh and got rid of the vet's, you know, oh my God, the side effects. You know, once I cleared that out, then my mind worked properly, and I was like, yeah, she only has a week left of that medication. I need to order it now, you know. So taking action often involves, you know, having that telepathic mesh really whole and clear and, you know, just you. And like I said, it's so easy to get all sorts of energy blocks glommed on to the front of it in your fifth layer or the back of it in your fifth layer. It's like a thin mesh. So you have your fifth layer is like maybe this thick, and then the little mesh is like this, you know, wide. So you can have all these energy blocks just glommed onto both sides of it. So the mesh is probably about like this wide, you know. So let's see. Yeah, it's about this wide. I'm trying to be clear. So, you know, it's that wide in front of you, and then, you know, you just comb through the front of it and the back of it, and you can comb through it with your hands. You're not going to wreck it. But anyway, I'll get into that in the walkthrough video, which is coming up next. But it's simple. Everyone can do it, I promise. And then after that, we did blend that with some DGS and some earth energy soaks. So clearing the mesh and then doing the soaks and stuff. So I'll probably put a little bit of that in the walkthrough video. And then I did more of the earth energy soak, DGS, and I didn't do bottle brush again though. But anyway, so then we did a giant collapsing gold net technique, which is also an existing video. So I already put that in the playlist, so you'll see it. It's underneath this one, and then the telepathic mesh walkthrough, there'll be the two related videos. So we did giant collapsing gold net technique 4 different times. It's not that long of a video. You'll like it. If you don't know that technique and you don't want to do it just on your own because you know it, that's a good walkthrough. I think it's less than 10 minutes, that walkthrough. But anyway, what it does is you imagine these giant gold nets and you use them to get rid of negative spirits, basically, out of your energy field. Because we were clearing so many energy blocks off of this mesh, the telepathic mesh or the Mind Harp, that I just wanted to make sure, because some people had some, negative spirits that were not excited about this person getting so much more present and so much more mental clarity. So they were making a little trouble for some people that I noticed. So I wanted to, clean everybody out to give her. So obviously I want to help people grow and learn as much as possible in these healings, but I want it to be a gentle experience, I don't want to be like, oh my God, I couldn't sleep at all, so that's why giant collapsing gold nets was a part of the healing, just in case there's any negative spirits that, are around in your energy field or around your energy field. Giant collapsing gold nets is really good for that. And then we ended with an angel blessing and healing. So I think that would be a great way to end this intro video. We ended with an angel blessing and healing for you and for your telepathic mesh or your mind harp. See, right about right here. So anyway, that's easy. So let's do that together to end this intro video, okay? So just I like closing my eyes, but either way, just with your mind, ask your angels, can you please give me a blessing and a healing, and can you help me heal my telepathic mesh? All right, great. So, so that's it for this intro video, basically. And I do appreciate people's surveys, so thanks so much. I've already read the ones from Sunday. I may check to see if there are a couple latecomer surveys, but don't make it too late, please. But thank you for the surveys. And the telepathic mesh did work really great for a lot of people. I think the only people that I'm looking at that are having some trouble, it's not really because of the telepathic mesh, it's just because their life has been really hard lately and they maybe haven't been meditating, and so they just, you know, which is fine, you know. I always encourage people to jump into a triplet set, you know. I don't care if your energy's messed up and you never meditate, or you think you should but you don't, or you do, you know. These healings are for everybody. But anyway, I'm gonna tailor the final healing as best I can to meet people's needs. So go ahead and give me your survey. Most people, though, I have gotten surveys from, just 1 or 2 stragglers I'm still looking for. All right. I think you're awesome for learning about your telepathic mesh or your Mind Harp. And I encourage you to give the healing walkthrough a try. That's going to be linked right at the end of this video. And if you're using the playlist for the triplet set, it will flow naturally right into that video. Okay, bye.